Why does this film exist? Why does this film exist at all? Because it's a mockbuster, that's why. So anyway, I'm reviewing What's Up, but before we get into What's Up, let's talk about the company who made this, Video Branquedo. So as Video Branquedo states on their article on Wikipedia, they came from Brazil. So I don't know what to pronounce where directly they came from. They make mostly mockbusters, featuring the Little Panda Fighter, the Cars films, not the Cars from Disney, the Little Cars film. Don't want to get that confused, don't we? This film, What's Up, along with its prequel film, Little and Big Monsters, but who cares about that? They don't even match up, that's how bad. They just stayed in the beginning. That's it. And another film that copied off WALL-E and some Disney princess films.
And trust me, you do not want to see those Disney princess films. They are boring and out of this world offensive, man. Don't watch them. Whatever you do, don't let your kids watch them. Don't let you watch them. There's not enough eye bleach in the world to get that out of your head.
Well, the good news is that Video Branquedo has been taken down by all the companies that it ripped off from, like Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks. So, why are they still on? They have a YouTube account now, and now they are untouchable via the power of YouTube copyright claims. Claims and fair use. Now they're just uploading them as parodies. Go fuck yourself, Video Branquedo. I'm sorry for my language there, but really, this trash doesn't even deserve to be on YouTube. If I could compare how bad Video Branquedo's films are, they're at the same level as badness as toy channels. And toy channels are a disgusting disgrace on YouTube. So anyway, I'm basically done talking about Video Branquedo. They're a terrible company that lives in Brazil, and they make shitty mockbusters. So, now let's talk about this one. It's just pretty infamous. What's Up? Balloon to the rescue. Foxy plus Sidekick, play the intro.
You got it, boss.
So we open up with a news report for what happened to the last film. And I think I mentioned earlier that this film did have a prequel called Little and Big Monsters, but who cares about that? Here's one big thing that I hated about watching this. It was so long. Possibly 2 minutes long. But that is like watching the commercials in a movie theater along with the Disney intros that they have a day that is so long. So anyway, after that nonsense, we tune into two of the main characters of our film, if you could call them main characters. The girl on the left is named Amanda. Right. And the kid in the center, I don't know his name, but he's really annoying, so let's just call him That Kid. Because this guy is so annoying, you don't want to hear him for the whole entire film. And he talks a lot. And Amanda just starts complaining that, hey, stop watching these gossip shows. They're filled with lies about me. Oh, shut up. I bet they're the truth. Also, a weird thing about Amanda is that I heard a lot of Amy Rose coming out of her from Sonic X, the English dub, made by 4Kids. But who cares about that? I think I just ruined some actor's career right now. So anyway, moving on. So after that nonsense, we cut to a scene where Crumb, one of the scientists on screen, and some other guy are talking to this news reporter about one of their latest discoveries, and that is a special, tiny little green rock. Shouldn't they be in hazmat suits around that rock? That thing could be bursting with a radiation. They can get radiation poisoning and their skin would be falling off right now. This isn't Fallout, man. We don't turn into ghouls. We just die after radiation poisoning. So anyway, after that. So they discussed that this rock has supernatural powers and they can do anything, like hypnotize people. and whatever they wanted, but it has a secret password on it. And it even does some incredible things to their house, like levitating it and stuff. That is one of the many powers of the rock as well. But he screws up completely telling the password, which is called Lavender, opening that rock to be an extremely bigger target. Let me get you a list of how many things that could happen in this film who want to take this rock away from them. Terrorists, gangs, mafia, extreme criminal overlords, cults, mole men, the SCP Foundation, which this rock would actually be better in the SCP Foundation's hands, alien warlords, demons, I guess, wolfaboos. Sorry, Bob, I had to make that joke because of how insane they could be. Some Undertale cringe girl named Cutie the Kitten who basically wants to destroy everybody. The Anduries, communists, Donald Trump, and spies. And eventually the next day, hey, guess what happens? A spy does come there. And his name is something Delacroix. I'm just going to call him Delacroix for the whole entire film. You know, and he's posing as an Amazon adventurer, and he calls out a monster that is in the Amazon. Well, since they're monster hunters, they have to go to the Amazon and capture that monster. Well, they do eventually go to the Amazon, and they find the monster in the cave, but to their surprise, it's a trap. The trap is set up by you-know-who, and guess what he does? He blows the whole entire entrance of the cave, blocking it with boulders. And he gets his hands on a rock and is able to take over the world! Psych, he can't enable the password Lavender because his French accent is making him say it like this. Lavender! Lavender! You think this would actually come as a surprise and be a plot point in the film where he has to get somebody to say it or something and then everybody's under his control. Nope, he basically knows how to say it in the correct way after multiple tries. And then after that, a balloon comes. For absolutely no reason. It just comes there and whatever, and drops photographs on the ground. And nothing really happens with that balloon guy. He just stands there like an imageless sprite. That's it. He's basically a vegetable. And Delacroix finds out how to hypnotize him and basically tests it out on him. But after that, guess what he does? He drops the rock, and it opens a portal to hell. Well, not hell, literally. It's just a dimension where the monsters dwell. And this portal unleashes 3 monsters upon the world. Some weird devil thing, a generic cyclops. Boo! That's even worse than my design! What'd I tell you about being in my videos? Whoa! And a frog monster that I'm just gonna call Dat Boy. Delacroix does hide behind a rock, but he does absolutely nothing but just make his eyes look bigger. Like he's surprised or something. What a great reaction! Not! After that, the monsters find some pictures on the ground and go to the destinations that are on the pictures. The Cyclops goes to Paris while the devil thingy goes to China. And that makes absolutely no sense. But Dat Boy notices Delacroix and goes after him. But guess who comes to save them? The Monster Hunter team, that's who!
How the heck did they get outside that cave?
And after that, Delacroix says, "Ooh, but I was, trying to save you with the rock, but, I accidentally dropped it and released the monsters. I did not cause that avalanche." And they believe him. Wow, they must have not heard that giant explosion that happened earlier. So they use that guy's balloon to go to Paris. Also, that guy who owned the balloon, I mentioned this before, but he never gets mentioned again. Ever. He just was there to practice hypnotizing skills on, and then he's never mentioned again. What happened to him? He just disappeared in thin air. Anyway, at Paris. But before we get to Paris, there's some giant, big, 2-minute scene about Delacroix getting explained that the super rock or whatever will get charged up again and will be able to be used once again.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Then when we get to Paris, we get this giant, long cutscene of this monster fooling around with the Eiffel Tower. Shame on you, film! Shame on you for vandalizing a giant monument! But nothing really happens at Paris. It's just that they captured a monster. The two, Amanda and that kid, complain about how they're not that big to the team. And Delacroix and Amanda have some weird romance stuff, but who cares about that? It's not that interesting. It's just some boring time stopper to add 10 more minutes to this 45-minute film.
And if anybody has noticed, a film in America or anywhere around the world has to be at least 45 minutes long to be counted as a film. Then after that, they go to China. But on their way there, there's some weird, more romance thing behind it. The characters, Delacroix and, whatever the namer is, Natalie, I don't even remember, man. Who cares about that? It's a mockbuster, nobody cares about exposition.
Yeah, my psychic's right. Anytime they try to explain something, it goes in completely boring. This film has cycles. We go someplace and go up in the sky. It gets incredibly boring. Go someplace, it's a vicious cycle. So, when we go to China, we cut to that giant fat playing hopscotch on the Great Wall. Shame on you, film. Don't you know that the Great Wall might be able to be seen in space and also might have kept other countries out of China? But did you also know that it's also a cemetery for the people who built that thing? So after that mess, Delacroix and Amanda are bitching at each other about something that Delacroix said wrong about the hypnosis. And the damn fat notices them, and guess what happens? Delacroix drops the blasters that they've been using, and basically they're fucked. The movie should be ending here, shouldn't it? But nope, somebody comes to rescue them. Some Chinese guy with the name Ching Ling, but they never call him that in the film, saves them with his camera. Thank God he had one of those things, because if that not, they'd be totally screwed. And all three get saved by the scientists via some balloons that magically came out of nowhere. And that kid dresses up as a cookie to distract the monster and lead him into a trap. Wow, we got all three monsters already. The film should be ending pretty very soon.
Also, I forgot, when they go back up into the sky, they bring the Chinese guy with them, and that's what they call him. And they treat him very, very offensively.
I think I know what type of joke I should be putting up right now, but, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it up right now. Wow, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the "that's racist" joke. And guess what happens later in the film? Delacroix hypnotizes everybody with the rock except for that kid. And basically is now going to take over the world. But that kid blows the rock out of his hand and it fits onto the ground again. And then they have to land down directly into Amazon again. Thank God they knew where it landed, or they would never find it. Then after that, they land, and that kid opens the portal and leads the monsters to it, and they fall right in. Idiots, I am more smart than that. Well, they don't really. After the Chinese guy blinds them, and then he flashes the hypnotized guys and whatnot.
the monsters do get trapped again, and along with Delacroix, they're both thrown into the dimension. And then after that, there's some scenes saying, oh, I thought that punishment was too harsh for them. And they could have just said, hey, this guy tried to hypnotize us and whatnot. Sure, the police wouldn't do anything because that does sound ridiculous on paper, but they have the super wrong, they have the evidence, and stuff. Why didn't they just do that? And their excuse is, he was already with the monsters. And then we end with a scene that Delacroix scares the monsters away. So I guess humans in the monster dimension are considered scary. And that's the story. So whenever I rate the story, let me just look at my script for a bit. I give this story a 1 out of 8. Sure, at least people had to write it, and it was a little bit okay, I have to say. But really, it's not that good. It's not good at all. Along with the racism and all the actors tripping over their lines and the dubbing and just being absolute garbage and not meshing up with the mouths of the characters, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. So anyway, the story of this film gets a 1.8 out of 10. So, anyway, now to the animation.
The animation of this film is absolute garbage. It's like somebody just hopped on Blender and did some crap. Some of the stuff looks good, and I have to say it's better than the other film. But really, it's still bad. Very bad. And the characters look something out of Billy Hatcher. So anyway, what do I say about the character and animations? They look fine. Except for the monsters, they look hideous. But the background could have had some more effort put into it. So what do I rate the animation?
Well, if I ever have to give the animation some credit, it would be an art style for the characters. That was the biggest part. So I give that a 3 out of 10. But what do I say about the backgrounds? I give it a 1 out of 9. Because, hey, at least they tried. But it's still bad, blurry, and basically a ton of screenshots. And very, very empty.
But if we have to put the animation's performance on here, I have to say that it's jerky, stale, and sometimes doesn't do anything.
Along with a ton of silent moments in the film, it basically doesn't fit. So I give the animation and performance a 0.5 out of 10. Because, hey, at least they're moving and they're not just this across the TV screen. Because that would put no effort whatsoever. So, animation is pretty bad. So anyway, now let's move on to the characters.
Well, the characters are very, very, very shallow. That kid is basically the anime mascot who screeches a lot in his voice. Crumbs, who is basically, I don't want anybody touching my daughter. You hear that? This guy has no personality whatsoever. Delacroix is basically the offensive French guy, and one of his lines in the film is, I am French, I only drink wine.
Do we need another That's Racist clip?
And Amanda is basically,
I want to stand up for my rights and have appreciation to find the man that I love.
that is one of the worst, overused girl traits I ever seen in my life.
The characters get a 0 out of 10 for being offensive, shallow as a Hollywood swimming pool on a set, and basically being annoying as hell. So yeah, that was What's Up. And what do I have to say about this film? So, What's Up is the worst film I ever seen in my life. And through this month, I'm going to see a ton of even worse more films than this one. The animation is terrible. It's based off Billy Hatcher a bit, as you can see from the art style, for the humans. The story is complete shit.
because of how shallow, forgettable. I had to watch this film 3 times to remember it. That's how forgettable it is. And the characters are so shallow, offensive, and boring that nobody would even make fan art for them. Not even the most stupidest of people. So what do I rate this film? A 0.5 out of 10. Video Break Cueto might be still out there and at the bridge of bankruptcy, and I hope they go bankrupt completely and everybody that is there goes to the box. And I'm talking about the loony bin because that's how insane their films are. So anyway, this film gets a 0.5 out of 10. Never watch it. But if you want to, it's going to give you a ton of laughs. That's what. I'm SilverFox1232. I always win!